Hey guys, it's Kimberlee, and today we are doing a makeup tutorial. I am so excited to show you guys what I did today. This is the look that we were going for, or at least this is what we got. And so if you want to know how to get this look that I have on right now, then keep on watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face with my e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. I'm just going to take a good old squirt of that and just put it all over my T-zone and rub it on in. And then for my foundation today, I'm going to be using my 24-hour Revlon Color Stay in the shade 220 Natural Beige. And I'm just going to take a pump of that on the back of my hand. Just gonna dot it on. And I'm just gonna go in with my damp Real Techniques beauty sponge and just dab it all into the skin. Now that I have all my foundation, I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm gonna use my Naked Skin by Urban Decay in Light Warm. And I'm also gonna dab this in with my beauty sponge. I do like using a brush, but just because it's like much quicker and easier. However, I do think that the beauty sponge gives you a much more flawless finish in the end. I think it gives you more of an airbrushed kind of a look, where I think brushes, sometimes it could be a little streaky, sometimes it could go either way, but I think that this, if you're gonna get up, wet it, do the whole shebang, I think that this always gives you a good result. So now I'm just gonna blend that on in. After I put on my concealer, I always powder, and especially under my eyes, set my under eyes and everywhere that I put concealer. And today I'm going to be using my e.l.f. loose powder. It's off Luminance, and I did a little first impressions on this along with some other e.l.f. products in my last video. You should go check it out. This one definitely worthwhile. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of this powder on my Morphe E41 brush, and I'm going to set my face. When it comes to powder, I always make sure that I really set my under eye and everywhere I put concealer so that it doesn't settle into fine lines and cake up. However, I always take a little bit and dust it all over the whole face, because I think that setting your entire face, even just lightly, makes for a very easy application with your bronzers, your blush, your highlighter, any other powder products. I think just go on much smoother if you set it with a powder first. The next thing that I'm going to do is contour, and I'm going to go in with my favorite contour from the Tarte Clay Play palette, and that is Terracotta down in the bottom corner. And I'm going to go in with my Morphe R10 brush from the Rose Gold collection, and I also really love this brush combined with this powder. I think it does a great job at contouring. So I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that because it's super pigmented, tap off the rest, and go in there from the corner of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth, but only about halfway. Along with hollowing out the cheekbones, I'm also going to take a little bit of the powder, go all the way around the hairline, up next to here, and the corners of my forehead, jawline, and a little bit down my neck. After I have contoured and bronzed up the face, then I like to go in with my blush, and I'm going to go into yet another Tarte palette, and this is the Amazonian Clay Collector's palette. And I'm going to go into a mixture of these two blushes because I love both of them, and that is the blush Trustworthy and Empowering. And I'm going to mix those together on my Morphe M530 brush. After I put on my blush, I like to just get all of the face out of the way, so I highlight after that. And I'm going to use my Morphe M510 brush, because who doesn't? And I'm going to go into another Tarte palette, because I love Tarte. And this is the Make Believe in Yourself palette. So it looks like that, so pretty. And I am gonna go into this big center highlight shade. And it's kind of like iridescent. It's really pretty. Just gonna get a little bit of that on my brush, hit the high points of my cheeks. So pretty. Hit my Cupid's bow. A little bit on my nose. Forehead and my chin. That is so pretty. I love that. Tarte makes such good products, honestly. They're so nice. Love it. Okay, and now that we've finished up the face, it is time to move on to the eyes, and I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do today, so gonna look at some things and see what we're gonna do. Before I do my shadow, I am going to do my brows real quick, and I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in brunette and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel also in brunette, and I'm gonna do that off camera for you guys real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, and now that my eyebrows are all done, I am just going to start off my eyes with this Missame brush. I believe that's how you say it. It's M-I-S-S-A-M-E with the little accent on it. And I'm going to go into my Jaclyn Hill palette, of course. And I am going to go into this shade right here. And I'm just gonna put that all over everywhere as my transition color. Just blend in circular motions, just like that. After I've applied this transition shade, I am going to go with the same brush into the shade right next to it and just go over pretty much the same thing, maybe just a little bit closer in, just to deepen things up just a tad. Okay, next thing I'm going to do with the same brush yet again, because I like to try and keep it as simple as possible, and I'm going to go into the shade right here, And this is just, again, I'm just getting deeper and darker. And this one I'm going to keep just in the crease. And I'm just gonna go back and forth in the crease on like the outer 3/4. I'm not gonna bring it all the way into my inner corner. So yeah, I'm just gonna blend this one on in. Jaclyn Hill's shadows are super pigmented, and when you take a little bit on the brush, you get a lot. So you definitely want to kind of take it slow and build it up, or use lots of shades going from light to dark like I did, just so that you have a little bit more control over the look that you're going for in the end. And it also makes it nice and blended. If you go in with a dark shade right away, it could definitely be too much. You might get more on the brush than you had anticipated, and it just kind of spirals out of control from there. So far I'm really happy with where this look is going. I think that I'm going to go in with my Morphe E18 brush, and this is just a really teeny tiny little flexible pencil brush, and I'm gonna bring a deeper shade on the very outer corners with this, and then I'm gonna go back in with the brush that I was using before that still has a little bit of that residue from the shade I was using before to really blend it out and make everything nice and seamless. So the shade I'm going to go in with for that is, I'm going to go in with these two. I'm gonna mix them together really deep. That's why I'm gonna go in with a little teeny tiny brush and a little teeny bit of color just on the outsides, and then blend it out and work up from there. Now I'm going to blend it out with my same Missame brush without any additional product. I'm just gonna do windshield wiper movements in my crease. And go in with a little bit of that dark shade, put a little bit more. You can see right there that I have it packed in on the corner, and then back in with that brush. So we're just really building up the depth, but keeping it nice and slow so we have no harsh lines. And then it's nice and blended out, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other eye. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way that it's looking right now, nice and blended out. We have a pretty little gradient where it's much deeper on the outer corners, super light on the inner corners. And now I think I'm going to take a shimmery shade all over the lid, and I am going to use this Missame brush. And sorry, I can't be specific. None of them are labeled. They're all just Missame. That's all that's on them. But this is a nice and flat packing brush. And let's see what color I'm going to use. For my lid shade, I'm going to go back into my Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. And I am going to be picking up this shimmery shade right here, and it's called Pixie. I'm going to be picking it up, but I'm also going to be spraying a little bit of my e.l.f. Illuminating Mix and Set setting spray. Any setting spray works. That'll just give it a little bit more of a pop, a little bit more of an intense foil type look. Okay, so I got some on my brush, and I'm just gonna, and now I'm gonna put it on my eyeball. And this color I am going to keep kind of on the inner half of my eye. I don't want to take it out to all the way to the edge, because I want to keep that depth in there. And I just want to have the brightness on the inner corner. You can see between this eye and this eye how much more this is just lifted and awake, and this one's dull and dark. So I'm just going to blend it on in and pack it on both eyes. And I'll be right back. And now that I have my shimmer, just to make sure it's a nice, beautiful fade between the outer corners, all the transition shades, the mattes, and the shinies, I'm just gonna go back in with that original fluffy Miss May blending brush, and I'm just going to blend again in my crease and just a little bit where the two shadows meet. Okay, so that's what we're looking like so far. I really like it. Now I am going to go in with my Morphe M432 brush, which is just this little flat definer brush. It's got really flat little edge on there. And I'm gonna go back in my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here that we were using on the outer corner. And I'm just gonna pick a little bit of that up on my brush and stamp it along the lower lash line in the outer corner of my eye, mimicking what we did on the top. And once we've stamped that dark shade on both eyes, I'm going to go in with my Morphe M506, which is also a pencil brush, but it's a little bit longer, still nice and skinny and really flexible. I'm going to go in with our lightest transition shade here. Maybe mix a little bit of this in, but just a little bit, and I'm just going to blend out that dark line and just run this all along my lower lash line. Now that we have blended out the top, blended out the lower lash line, I am going to go in with this little teeny tiny detail brush. It's a Morphe M213. Look at that little guy, super teeny tiny. And I am going to go in with my Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, and I'm gonna go back into that center shade that we used to highlight the face, and I'm going to highlight my inner corner and my brow bone with this brush. This brush is super awesome for getting little teeny tiny places like this because it just, boom, look at that, perfect. It just gets right into those little places without, you know, trying to get your whole finger in there or a giant brush that just kind of gets it everywhere. It's much easier to be precise with a brush like this. And now, last thing for the eyes is mascara, and I am going to use my Could You Guess Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and I'm just going to apply this all over my lashes, just like normal. That's it for my upper lashes, but my lower lashes, I think that one is a little too fat and clunky for me. I would be stamping my under eye with it. It's just too much. So I am going to go in with my Mary Kay Black Ultimate Mascara, which has a much thinner wand, and I'm just gonna hit my lower lashes. Now that I have my lower lashes done, last but not least is the lips. And for the lips, I am going to go in with the lipstick Micro Latte, well, the color Micro Latte from the brand Your Name, which is like something that companies buy to resell, kind of a thing. And I bought this at the salon that I work at. We sell Your Name makeup products, and I really like all of their lipsticks. So this is the shade Micro Latte, and it's just this basic nude color. So I'm gonna put that on my lips. It's a really beautiful color, and all of their lipsticks last nice and feel nice and smell nice. I love them. And then over top of this lipstick, I am going to go in with a NYX Butter Gloss, and it is in the shade Madeline. So this is like a nice deep nude gloss, and I'm just gonna put that over. And of course, the last thing to do is set your face so you can set it and forget it. And I am going to set it with my Illuminating Mist and Set by e.l.f., which I also discovered in my e.l.f. First Impressions video. So go check that out if you want to find some goodies. Alright. Okay, and that's it. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you all next time. Bye.